What's going on, YouTube? We're back here at Blitz Games playing some more Lorcana for you on Pixelborn. Today I have P.S. I Love You. That is Purple and Steel. If you get that reference, go ahead and comment down below. If not, I will let you know which of my favorite TV shows that it's from later in this video. So onto these cards, we are running the purple cards in the deck are mostly for drawing. We have Maleficent Sorceress, we have Merlin the Rabbit, Yzma, Friends on the other side, Queen's Castle, and Blue Fairy. All let us draw cards. Blue Fairy does well with our Floodborn characters, which come in from our Steel characters for the most part, other than Yzma. Yzma is Floodborn. But from Steel, we do have those big guys such as Beast is Floodborn, Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood, as well as Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy, all Floodborn, big guys that can come in, let us draw cards from Blue Fairy, and do wreak some havoc on our opponents. Then from Steel, we also have some damage dealers like Fire the Cannons, Along Came Zeus, and Grab Your Sword. Now in my testing, those Steel cards, in addition with it being able to get out its characters fairly quickly, does quite well against aggro decks as well as mid-range decks like your Blue Steel. In my testing, it has struggled the most against Blue Red. Now that is because they're able to just ramp so quickly and kind of take control of the board. But let's go ahead and get into some games. This deck has been quite strong overall, so make sure you wait and see how it does. As usual, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out here on the channel. And if there's anything I can do for you guys, just let me know down in the comments below about changes you'd like to make to the deck or other decks you'd like to see played on my channel. So our first matchup, we are going first. And we're playing against Steel and Amber. So let's go ahead and get rid of Yzma and Tinkerbell. We don't need those quite yet. We can also get rid of Madam Mim as we have 3 2-drops. We don't quite need that. Got a second Blue Fairy. We did get Little Robin Hood, which is perfect for us. So let's go ahead. We can get rid of one of these Blue Fairies and get out that Robin Hood. Now this is actually one of my favorite openers, whatever you want to call it. Robin Hood into Blue Fairy turn 2, and then we can shift Robin Hood onto Little Robin Hood turn 3, which is perfect. Got another Blue Fairy. Hopefully they're not able to sing something and take down our characters. I will not quest with Robin Hood as we do want to get down our shifted big Robin Hood turn 3. This is likely Steel Song. It could be an aggro type deck, so we need to just wait and see before we make any big decisions on how quickly we want to get things out. We could have used Fire the Cannons on the Queen to stop them from potentially shifting. They do not have anything. A Grab Your Swords would be perfect right now. Unfortunately, we don't have that. But we can go ahead and ink our Mr. Smee, get out our Robin Hood, which lets us draw a card. Got another Robin Hood, and then we can sing with Robin Hood. An attempt of getting Grab Your Swords, but we did not. There are 3 copies of it in the deck. This is looking more like the Steel Song type deck. They are able to get rid of our Blue Fairy. Now, if I were to use Fire the Cannons right now, it is a tough decision, as both the Queen and Robin Hood have shiftable targets that they can drop bigger guys down, or Cinderella is Singer 3 and also has a shift target potentially. So let's go ahead and we can ink this Robin Hood. We'll play out Maleficent. We'll keep Benja in case they do have Sleepy's Flute. And then we can fire the cannons. Let's go ahead and get rid of one of their singers. And then we can take out... I'd rather take out the Queen, just because her big version does quite a lot of damage if it's unexpected. Be able to do 2 more damage, and then they'll probably take it out with their little Robin Hood, I'm assuming, or grab your sword. That works too. Another little Robin Hood on their side. We can get rid of our Maleficent, drop down another Robin Hood. Would love to be able to get rid of that Ariel. They may sing A Whole New World soon. They did have the big Queen in their hand. Along Came Zeus would be nice right now, but unfortunately, not getting any of our damage spells other than that one fire the cannons. Let's go ahead and get out our goat. We'll ink Benja. Need to keep our ink well going strong. I won't quest this turn with Robin Hood. We'll see if they sing A Whole New World, or if they just continue building toward pressure. They have their own Robin Hood. If they do sing A Whole New World, that'll give us a chance to get some of those damage spells out. They did not. Let's go ahead and play that rabbit. We can drop in Mr. Smee. And then return rabbit to our hand, in order to draw some more cards. I'd love to sing with goat, but Queen is too scary, so we're just going to pass for now. Hoping to draw into something that can get rid of that Queen. Now, they did already use 2 Let the Storm Rage Ons and a Grab Your Sword, so glad to have those gone. Another little Queen. What we can potentially do this next turn is drop in our rabbit. They do have Along Came Zeus. They're drawing into a lot of their burn, where we have not yet, but that's okay. I'm going to quest with their Robin Hood. Let's ink one of these Robin Hoods. We'll kind of try to force their hand by dropping out Queen's Castle. I'll leave their Robin Hood alone for now. In order to get rid of Queen's Castle, they would have to use quite a bit of their things, or just use the Queen, which would be perfect so we can get rid of it. There is the Sleepy's Flute. Alright, we got Mr. Smee. So what we can do is, let's see. Love to take down this Robin Hood, so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll use the goat and then our Robin Hood, which will gain us 2 more lore since Robin Hood took that out. They are able to draw a card. Let's take out the Queen. Then we can go ahead and return our rabbit to our hand. And then go ahead and get out Mr. Smee and that rabbit. Could have also gotten out Robin Hood there. Bare Necessities, which is going to miss. That's perfect for us. And they resign. There we go. That's game 1. Let's go ahead and move right into game 2. So we did defeat Steel Song. Right into Ruby Amethyst, which is an interesting matchup. We do have to be careful of their board wipe, obviously. We are going first. We have Big Robin Hood, but not Little Robin Hood this time. Let's go ahead and get rid of Goat. Queen's Castle. We don't need Fire the Cannons quite yet. Would love to see. We'll just keep Friends on the other side. Love to see some earlier drops. There's Robin Hood into Big Robin Hood, which is perfect. Did not draw any 2-drop. Get out our Robin Hood. Hoping to see a Mr. Smee or something like that. Did not happen. That's okay, though. We'll get rid of Fox. And I think we can safely quest for 2. The only thing that's going to take out Robin Hood that I can think of would be Teeth and Ambitions, which does 2 damage to their target and 2 damage to our target. So it's worth questing there. That's something important to keep in mind. Always try to know the possibilities. There it is, Teeth and Ambitions. Whether our Robin Hood was exerted or not exerted would have been the same outcome. That's unfortunate because I wanted to shift in Robin Hood and then sing Friends on the other side. And there's Blue Fairy, but it turned too late. We'll get out Maleficent. That way we can draw a card. And potentially sing Friends on the other side next turn. But back to what I was saying, knowing your opponent's deck. I know it takes experience for that to kind of learn all the cards. But playing different decks can help with that. It often is easier to learn cards when you're playing with them yourself rather than just reading. Now we do have a potential 4 ink this turn, which is kind of tough. Let's go ahead and we'll ink Robin Hood. That way we can get out Mr. Smee. We'll play Madam Mim the Snake to return Maleficent to our hand. We do have 2 swords in our hand. Would love to get out Beast next turn. The biggest counter to Beast that red and purple has is Madame Medusa, but that's a turn 6 drop. So we'd likely have at least a turn or 2 of extra cards from Beast. Alright, so let's go ahead and ink one of these Maleficents. Get out our Beast. And then we'll quest for 3, take the lead. Mr. Smee does take a point of damage. We don't have any captains in this deck. But he's still a very good card, especially when we can use something like Snake to bring him back to our hand. Opponent deciding what to do. There's Merlin the Rabbit. So they do have quite the board presence right now. Yeah, we're going to trade. That's okay. I could sing Swords. At this point, I feel like it's better just to wait. We do get to draw 2 cards this turn, which is helpful. So they are potentially able to use Madame Medusa next turn. And if we exert Beast, they might have a Maui that can take him out. So let's go ahead and get down our Queen's Castle. We can put these characters on it. And we'll get rid of one of theirs, just so they're able to do less damage to our Queen's Castle. So now they kind of have to choose, do they want to get rid of Beast? Do they want to get rid of Queen's Castle? We could, again, sing something here, but I'd rather save them. Let's see what they have. There is Madame Medusa. They could also trade their rabbit into our snake, which they will. So they were able to take care of our characters. We don't get any extra cards, but we still get our 2 lore. We can go ahead and get out Merlin the Rabbit and ink our Robin Hood to get out Maleficent. We want to keep as many cards in our hand as we can, as that now it's turn 7 for them. So they are able to use that board drop. The Maui's fish hook lets them take out our Queen's Castle, gives them +3 attack. A Benja would be nice to be able to take that out. There's Snake. They're going to return Madame Medusa to their hand. So let's go ahead and get out another rabbit. We can quest with this Merlin rabbit, and then we'll return it to our hand. Got ourselves another beast. We can ink that Robin Hood. There's a Be Prepared. That's okay. We didn't have a whole lot out on the board. We do have to be careful. They do have that Madame Medusa in their hand, which makes it tough because we do have Beast. But I'd rather not drop it like that and get out a second rabbit. We'll ink Blue Fairy. That way we can hopefully use Madame M Snake to bring back one of these. And again, keep our hand as full as we can. Alright, they have a Lady Tremaine. They are down to 4 cards in hand. We do know one of those is the Madame Medusa. Their Lady Tremaine is now evasive. Let's go ahead and sing Along Came Zeus. It does 5 damage. We can kill Lady Tremaine and then bring it back to our hand. There's our Benja, which is perfect to get rid of that Maui's fish hook. And then play out Rabbit. We do have to be careful about another potential board wipe, so we don't want to overextend too much. I could have inked there, but the only inkables we have in our hand now are Beast and Tinkerbell. There is another board wipe. So that's 2. They're likely running 4. Alright, let's get out a Blue Fairy, followed by Tinkerbell. I'd love to get out Beast, but again, we can't because of what they have in hand. Let's ink Merlin the Goat. Now, they could use Madame Medusa to take out Blue Fairy. That's awesome bait if they do. They roll out a Maui. Interesting choice. Let's go ahead and sing with Tinkerbell. Get rid of that Maui. And then let's roll out 2 beasts. That way we can draw 2 cards, and they can only take out 1 with Lady Tremaine unless they do have another board wipe, which is possible. We'll tie it up 8-8. Maleficent to draw a card. I am very surprised they didn't use a Madame Medusa. Alright, so we get to draw 2 extra cards. So our hand is nice and full. So let's go ahead and get out Goat. We'll quest with everything, which brings us all the way up to 16. And then put some pressure on with Queen's Castle. Would love to get out a second Queen's Castle, but unfortunately we don't have enough ink for that. Let's ink one of these Robin Hoods. And we'll use Fire the Cannons to take out Maleficent. Let's go ahead and put our Goat. And we'll put Tinkerbell. There, my decision there. Queen's Castle. I kind of want to put characters that they're less likely to go after on there. They're more likely to go after the beasts, in my opinion. So kind of split there. Make a hard decision for them. And that's the game. Alright, let's play one more. See how we do. Now the answer to that first thing of where P.S. I Love You came from, that is from one of my favorite shows, which is How I Met Your Mother. Robin Sparkles. For those of you that are fans. Alright, we're going first against Blue Steel. We do have turn 1 Robin Hood and turn 2 Blue Fairy. We don't have the big version of Robin Hood. Let's go ahead and search for it, potentially. Get rid of the other 5 cards. We did get it. That's perfect. Merlin the Goat. We have Robin Hood. Oftentimes against Blue Steel, it's kind of a back and forth affair. They're running a lot of similar cards to us, usually. They probably have, yep, there's Tinkerbell, along with Robin Hood and Beast. Alright, we're unable to quest with Robin Hood as they'd trade. But let's go ahead and ink Queen's Castle. Get out that Blue Fairy. Can hope that they don't have any early burn to take out Blue Fairy or Robin Hood. There's a Mr. Smee. And another Mr. Smee. Let's ink our own Mr. Smee. We can go ahead and get out our shifted Robin Hood. Then we could sing Grab Your Sword here. I don't think that's a bad play. It gets rid of their captain. If Mr. Smee taps one time or exerts one time, he will be gone. They have a Mickey for some ramp. Potentially into Cogsworth next turn. Cogsworth is tough to deal with. Alright, we do have friends on the other side. Let's go ahead and sing that with Robin Hood. Let's ink our Fox to get out Rabbit. Quest for another one. They did get out Cogsworth, just as expected. We do have another grab your sword. Would be wonderful to deal with Cogsworth. Fortunately, they're not going to make that easy. Don't have many inkables either. Ink our Tinkerbell, that way we can get out our Robin Hood. That way we can draw another card. Let's see. We could sing. There's a lot of options here. Definitely gonna quest with Blue Fairy. Let's go ahead and take out Mr. Shmee. We'll leave Mickey Mouse out there. That puts us up to 6. Along Came Zeus would be perfect for Cogsworth, but he has Ward. Can't be targeted. I think the objective here for us is to just keep our board full and try to keep their non-Cogsworth characters to a minimum. That way they're kind of forced to use Cogsworth and then we can take him out. Right now we're able to quest for 6, so we could be potentially up to 12 next turn. Grab your sword. They could use Mickey to take out... They took out Merlin. Surprised. They are down to 2 cards in hand now. But they did use their Cogsworth, but we have nothing left for the most part. We could use our own Grab Your Swords, which is likely what's going to happen here. We are left with nothing inkable in our hand. We'll sing that, and then get rid of their Cogsworth. That does let us draw a card, hopefully drawing into something inkable. We did get something, so that's good. And then we can fire the cannons, get rid of that last Mickey Mouse. They are down to 2 cards in hand, now 3 after the draw. They ink a Tinkerbell into a Gaston. That does let them get another card. We do have plenty to deal with Gaston here. Let's go ahead and use one of those. Take out Gaston. Into Mr. Shmee. Next turn we could potentially quest with Mr. Shmee and then use Yzma to get rid of him and draw 2 cards. They have another Gaston. Got friends on the other side. We can't play that with Mr. Shmee, so we'll just quest with him for 2. We'll use our Yzma. 2 extra cards. We'll keep the Blue Fairy. Or we'll ink the Blue Fairy. So next turn we could potentially sing Along Came Zeus. They do have another Cogsworth now. Able to quest for 3. Definitely want to take care of that Gaston as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's use Robin Hood as our bait to draw our 2 extra cards. this Robin Hood. We do have fair control right now, I feel like. They only have 2 cards in hand. Compared to our 2 Yzmas, there is Tinkerbell. But we can take care of most of that. They have Cogsworth out, unfortunately. So Along Came Zeus does 5, -1 only does 4 to the Tinkerbell with 5 health. But let's put some pressure on them. Get down 2 Queen's Castles. Can also sing with Yzma. Got a 3rd Queen's Castle. Let's ink Madam Mim so we can put the unexerted Yzma on one of the Queen's Castles. Again, making the opponent choose what they want to do. Do they want to take care of Yzma? Do they want to take care of Queen's Castle? They can't do it all. And as is, we can overall gain 8 lore. Alright, so they do choose to take out Yzma. Now that does do 2 damage to our other Yzma. If they have something in hand, there it is. Grab your sword. So we are out of things in hand, unfortunately. Out of characters, rather. But we can take care of Tinkerbell and put down a 3rd Queen's Castle. They're going to decide to quest with Cogsworth. That's interesting. We got a Mr. Smee. Unfortunately, can't play all 3. But let's go ahead and get rid of the Tinkerbell. Play a 3rd Queen's Castle, which is likely game. And there it is. 3 for 3 for you guys today. This deck has done quite well for me. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure to like and subscribe. And we will see you again next time.